Alright, let's have a look at these guys playing a 5-minute game, no increment on Chess Cube. So far it's 3-1. I tried to kibitz the game previous, but one of the players disconnected. So we have a French defense. Open, or the exchange variation, or what? Tarrasch, potentially Winoir. Or we could have knight f6, a lot of options here, or even the capture. So we are having the French Winoir. Very interesting structure. I like this bishop to d2 move. After c5, bishop d2. Trying to get rid of the bad bishop. And then with the idea of getting into d6 after the typical c5 striking at the base point. We are having that. So click there. So knight d7, white has a space advantage and could look to maybe put pressure on g7 one day. Queen g4 becomes a little bit awkward to defend against g7. It's kind of like, well, we are having that. You see this from time to time when the queen bishop comes out, weakens b2, and the black queen could come out in this direction to attack it. Well, we could have that with also the king bishops in this particular line. So the king bishop comes out, g7 is hit. And this is an interesting reorganization of the pieces, or I should say, getting the queen out prior to developing the knight to f3. So she's certainly more aggressively placed, and now a question is being threatened, or placed to the queen. Where to go? Knight f5 is a strong piece. Probably in order to make any progress, you have to get rid of this knight, but that's not so easy. I'm assuming b6's idea was to play bishop a6, getting rid of the bad bishop for white's good bishop. We're not having that, though. So bishop d3, how would black react to that? Bishop d3, giving up the bishop for the knight in order to shatter the structure, undermining the strong point d5. So that's what we are having. Might have knight takes. Okay, we do. Knight takes, and you know what we could have? We could have knight here instead of queen takes pawn. Knight b5, looking to get into this square. If bishop takes, the queen is there to recapture. Okay, we're not having that. I really do think that this was an interesting alternative. Offering a dark square bishop exchange and looking to jump in there. So this knight is pinned. Bishop here would throw a punch back at the queen. Okay, we're not having that. And this is a blunder, right? Is this already GG? Bishop takes knight, that's a free piece with check. Game over, just like that. Oh my goodness. We have to watch one more. Alright, let's try one more right from the top. Okay, that one, we're going to forget about that one. Okay, let's see if we could get a better game here. Let's see, these guys, this is their 6th game. 22-24 versus 2400-ish. So we have d4. Alright, this is the one we're going to go with. That one was busted. Tried to take on c3, but forgot that the knight could be taken with check. So, queen's gambit. Try this one. This will be a much long game. So, queen's gambit accepted. And, well, what's most common is to capture on this square. Well, to enter like a declined, queen's gambit declined, and only capture on c4 only after he has moved. So it takes at least a couple steps before he is on the c4 square. But we're entering some Catalanish position, I believe. So eventually this pawn will be picked back up. I've seen it picked up in many different ways. There's queen a4 and takes, knight a3 and takes, knight e5 and takes. And white has gone now uncastled. Okay. I don't know that I like that idea. Because still with... I've heard that expression, what is it, like a queenless... This is still... you wouldn't consider this an endgame, but rather a queenless middle game. Still a lot of firepower, all minor pieces on the board. And this move is there in order to shatter this structure, isolate the queenside pawns. Now it's an AC structure, and it is being pinpointed right now with the bishop g2 to follow. This is going to be a little bit uncomfortable So the king is in the middle of the board, and now f2 is hit. Ouch, this could be very painful. King... Oh, I totally missed that. The knight could take here. So he was hitting at the knight and the pawn. I was thinking after king to e1, knight b4, threatening a fork on the queen side as well. So okay, we do have those knights being exchanged. This pawn is hit, and okay, now we're probably going to have this. Knight b4, I'm pretty sure knight a3 would be needed. You don't want to move this pawn because that will be game over. So just simply giving up this pawn. Oh, okay, I guess the trick was if bishop takes knight here, hitting the bishop and then hitting c2, but maybe bishop a4 would have been available, saving the bishop and defending c2, but we're beyond that point. I don't know if there's a way to really exploit the king position. We could maybe have black returning the favor with c3, disrupting the white structure, but black instead simply defends, not wanting to give the material back. Well, how do we stand with the material? 7 pawns for black, 6 for white. But black is ahead with development, black is ahead with material, and this is a really nice square. You could imagine a knight jumping into c5, and even now that this pawn has moved, the d3 square. So 2 holes on b3 and d3, and there's already support for it for this extra pawn that black has on c4. So jumping right in, this is very uncomfortable. Could always pick up the bishop, but there's simply no reason to do that. You should keep this sitting. Instead, put more pressure on f2. Very nice. And we get out of that way. This is, for a second I was thinking maybe f5 to trap the bishop. That is not on. And ouch, this king is getting hit in every direction. Bishops are just slicing into the white position right now. Very few options right now for the white king. And getting the last piece in play, this is going to be busted for white. Right? Look at every one of black's pieces is doing something. This king is caught right in the middle. e5 you can be sure is going to be struck at with f6, and just like that, game over. There's no way to defend that king position. There was just too much stuff going on. So I was only going to do one game. That one ended too quick, and I wanted to get another one in there. It's been a while since I did a video, but we'll just stop here. These guys are going to continue going at it, but again, I'm going to stop here, and as always, I hope you got something out of this video, or at the very least it was a little bit fun to watch. Okay, bye bye.